Hi, I am Umar Sheikh and welcome back to the YouTube channel of Australia Immigration Matters. In today's video, we are going to talk further about the changes which are going to happen as part of the new migration strategy which was released by Australian government on 11th of December. In our last video, we talked about five core objectives which are underpinning Australia's new migration system vision and their policy roadmap which includes eight key actions to realize that vision. In that video, we discussed in detail about the changes with respect to student visa reforms. In today's video, we are going to talk about the changes with respect to temporary graduate visa reforms. So let's get started. So when we talk about temporary graduate visa, the Australian government's commitment is very simple. They simply want to strengthen and simplify the temporary graduate visa process. Currently, their biggest problem is permanently temporary migrants, and the former students are among the largest cohort of permanently temporary migrants, and they want to solve this problem. Also, more than 50% of the temporary graduate visa holders are working in low skilled jobs, skill level 4 and 5. The students who have completed their bachelor's or higher degree are not working in a skill level 1, 2, and 3, which are actually useful and which become an asset when applying for residency. Currently, this is a big problem for them that these people, these temporary graduate visa holders, are simply moving from one temporary visa to another visa and they are not eligible or they are not finding a good pathway towards the permanent residency because of their skill levels. To solve different problems related to temporary graduate visas, Australia government has came up with five approaches. So we will discuss about each approach one by one in the next sections. So let's discuss about the first key change with respect to the temporary graduate visa. The first problem is about the long post-study work rights. So the government is approaching this problem by shortening the post-study work rights for different courses. So if you are studying a bachelor degree or if you are doing a master's by coursework, you will be eligible for 2 years post-study work rights. Whereas if you are studying a master's by research or if you are doing a PhD, you will be eligible for a temporary graduate visa of 3 years. And if you are studying in a regional area, of a university in a regional area, you will be getting another 1 or 2 years of TGV as a second temporary graduate visa. They are going to abolish the extension of post-study work rights as part of their new migration system. So this is the change number one, key change number one with respect to the temporary graduate visa. The second change is about the eligibility age. Now the eligibility age, they are going to reduce from 50 to 35 in order to apply for temporary graduate visa. They think that the eligible age should encourage early career professions, and these people should be eligible for a possible permanent residency pathway in future after getting the required work experience from an Australian labor market. The third change is about the multiple and confusing graduate visa products. So they are coming up with a simple, limited graduate visa products with clearly defined purposes. There will be two streams under TGV in the new system. Number one will be post higher education work, and the number two will be post vocational education work. And they will be abolishing the replacement stream and the skilled recognized graduate visa 476 stream as well. So this is important for you to understand that if you are a foreign student, you will only be eligible either through a post higher education work stream or through a post vocational education work stream as part of the new migration system for temporary graduate visa. Let's talk about the fourth problem which they are facing, which is about the unclear visa processing time. Now they are suggesting, they have proposed, and they are approaching with a clearer visa processing times, and they have mentioned in their new migration strategy document that for post higher education work stream, it will be backed by a 21-day service standard. I am not sure how much they will be able to fulfill this commitment, but they are coming up with a much faster processing time for this specific stream of the TGV. The last problem is about the uncertainty about pathways to permanent residency. Previously, what was happening is that a temporary graduate visa holder was also able to go back to a student visa. But in the latest case, the government will restrict TGV holders from transferring back to a student visa from while they are onshore. So either you will be moved from a temporary graduate visa to a possible skilled or other pathway for a permanent residency, or you will have to go back to your country and then apply for a student visa again. You cannot go back from a 485 temporary graduate visa to a student visa while you are onshore. This is going to happen. This will be applied as part of the new migration strategy, new rules. So this is related to the clearer postgraduate visa pathways, the approach number 5. And in this case, what they are going to do is they are going to, as part of the solution, they are going to give a new type of visa in replacement of the temporary skills shortage visa, which is 482 in future, and it will be called skills in demand visa. And this will give the TGV holders more opportunity to move on to a skilled visa and possibly towards a permanent residency. Please keep in mind that this skills in demand visa is in addition to the regular feature of skilled migration permanent residency pathways of 189, 1890, and 491 subclasses. This will be a new type of visa which will help to encourage and promote TGV holders to get the required skills, required experience from Australian labor market, and apply for a possible pathway of skills in demand visa. We will talk about the skills in demand visa in detail in the next section. So let's get started about that. When we talk about the skills in demand visa, this is going to be a special case. This is going to be a new type of visa, which will obviously require a general eligibility requirement, such as nomination by an employer, your health and character requirements, your health and character fulfillments. Other than that, there are specific pathways and specific requirements for each of the pathway. So let's talk about the pathways of skills in demand visa. There are three pathways which they are going to introduce. The number one is specialist skills pathway, the number two is core skills pathway, and the number three is essential skills pathway. When we talk about the specialist skills pathway, it is for a highly skilled migrant who is currently or earning more than $135,000 annually, and such occupations or migrants or applicants will drive innovation and job creation in future. So these will be top talent in areas of need, and the examples could be some people like engineering managers who are working in the field of sustainability or climate change, or they could be helpful for Australia's net zero economy initiatives. Similarly, other examples could be a cyber security specialist who is working in response to cyber attacks. And another example could be a software engineer having artificial intelligence or machine learning transformation experiences. So such people who are earning more than $135,000, who are a top talent in the areas of need for Australia's future and innovative economy, and who have such skill sets will be eligible for specialist skills pathway. And please be noted that all occupations are eligible for specialist skills pathway except trade workers, machine operators, and drivers and laborers. So let's talk about the second pathway, which is core skills pathway. Now, for core skills pathway, Australian government has mentioned that they will be coming up with a new occupation list, which will be called core skills occupation list. And this list will be advised by Jobs and Skills Australia as part of their research based on the current and existing skill shortages in Australia for the industrial and state requirements. So again, this will be a new occupations list, and this might be in addition to the existing lists of occupations. So most temporary skilled migrants will be coming through the core skills pathway. These people, these occupations, these profiles will be earning at least TISMET level, which is $70,000 annually, and can their earning could range from 70,000 to 135,000, based on obviously the work experience and profile and the skill set. So if we try to understand it with respect to the cases or examples, so there are many workforce shortages in Australia right now, such as all the registered nurses, which is also a high priority occupation, who is working in an emergency department in a hospital. Similarly, if we talk about secondary school teacher who is teaching a subject of science in a public school, such skills shortages will be able to apply through core skills pathway, and hopefully all the list will come earlier than the implementation of the actual skills in demand visa. So we will have a clear view about the occupations which are included in the list. This list will be issued and published by Jobs and Skills Australia. Let's talk about the last pathway, which is related to skills in demand pathway, which is essential skills pathway. Now, these are all the workers, all the laborers, all the migrants who are currently lower paid workers who are not earning more than $70,000 annually, or who are, or simply you can say that who are earning less than $70,000 on annual basis. So most if there are many occupations or many profiles or professions which are currently included in such examples. So let's see if we have let's take an example of people who are working in care and support economy, such as aged care or disabled care workers who are essential skills, who are also in shortage, but they are not yet earning more than $70,000 annually. So such people will have a pathway through labor agreements, and again the specific sectors will be advised to Australian government by Jobs and Skills Australia. These people will also be help. This pathway will also be helpful to deal with essential skills shortage with respect to the lower paid workers, whereas core skills pathway will be targeted towards the skills shortage or with respect to the short to medium term levels. So these are the three possible skills pathways of skills in demand visa, which will be introduced early next year. We are anticipating that the system changes, and specifically related to student visa and temporary graduate visa, and the introduction of this new skills in demand visa can happen in the first quarter of 2024. And once it's applied, all the existing rules and regulations will not be applied. So if you are in the process of applying for a student visa, or if you are in the process of applying for a temporary graduate visa, or if you are in the process of applying for an extension of a temporary graduate visa, you need to do it as quickly as possible in order to avoid the implementation of new rules. One more thing you need to understand is that as per the new rules, the existing temporary graduate visa holders will no longer be able to apply for the student visa again while being onshore. This is an important thing to understand, so that you guys know and plan your strategies accordingly. So that's it from today's video with respect to the temporary graduate visa. We will be posting more videos about rest of the changes as of the new migration strategy, and we always ask for the support with respect to the subscription or following. So we expect that you will keep supporting us, so that we will be coming up with more and more useful information. Thank you and keep watching.